All eyes are on the Rajasthan High Court this morning. Is likely to pronounce its verdict on the Speaker's disqualification notice and Sachin Pilot's plea today. Rajasthan sacked Deputy Chief Minister Sachin Pilot and 18 other rebel MLAs have challenged the Assembly Speaker's move to disqualify them. The hearing in the High Court is expected to start at 10:30 in the morning, and the proceedings will be chaired by Justice Indrajit Mahanti and Justice Prakash Gupta. During the hearing on 21st July, High Court had barred Rajasthan Speaker C.P. Joshi from taking action against Pilot and 18 other rebel MLAs. The hearing in the High Court today comes a day after a temporary reprieve from the Supreme Court to the Pilot camp. That's till Monday. It's likely that following the High Court's decision, Chief Minister Gehlot will do a floor test in the Rajasthan Assembly. Chief Minister Gehlot has maintained that his government, excluding rebels, enjoys the majority in the House. Now, there was a temporary breather for the Sachin Pilot camp in the Rajasthan power game as the Supreme Court refused to restrain the Rajasthan High Court from actually passing an order on the Pilot camp's plea. The hearing in the top court has been put off till Monday. The Congress, meanwhile, hit out at the centre over raids on Chief Minister Gehlot's aides.
Another setback for the Congress in Rajasthan. The Speaker's petition against the High Court order delaying action on disqualification notices sent to Congress rebels is put off for Monday. The Supreme Court refused to restrain the High Court from passing an order on the plea by the Pilot camp. During the hearing, the SC bench asked Speaker's counsel if voices of dissent in a democracy can be silenced. The court also held the High Court's final order will be subject to its own proceedings. While the legal battle goes on, the central agencies continue to swoop down on people and firms linked to Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot. The Enforcement Directorate has issued fresh summons to Ratan Kant Sharma, a business partner of Gehlot's son. Sources say Triton Hotels and Resorts promoted by Sharma sold its shares worth 40 rupees to the Mauritius-based Shivnar Holding Limited at a rate of 40,000 rupees. ED is now probing the case. The summons came a day after Chief Minister Gehlot's brother, Agrasen Gehlot, was raided in an alleged 150 crore rupees fertilizer scam dating back to 2007. The Congress has accused the BJP of raid raj. Former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram sarcastically said the ED deserves to be elevated to a separate ministry.
देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी तो पहले दिन से जब से वो सत्ता में आई है तो तमाम ऐसी संस्थाओं का वो इस्तेमाल कर रही है अपने राजनीतिक लाभ के लिए। राजस्थान में भी वही तरीका अपनाया गया जो दूसरे राज्यों में अपनाया गया। अगर पैसा लेके तैयार हो गए तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, तो उनका स्वागत है, और अगर उन्होंने पैसा लेने से इनकार कर दिया, रिश्वत लेने से इनकार कर दिया, तो उन पर छापे पड़ते हैं।
The Gehlot government too has hit back. The state's Anti-Corruption Bureau has got the go-ahead from a Jaipur local court to investigate Union Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat over his alleged role in the 884 crore Sanjeevani Credit Cooperative Society scam. The matter has been under probe since last year. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's get you the latest numbers in the coronavirus crisis. First, looking at the nationwide numbers from the Health Ministry, the number of cases stands now at 12,38,635. You've got 29,861 deaths so far reported in India. We're also telling you the three worst affected states. In Maharashtra, the number of cases stands at 3,37,607 with the death toll at 12,556. Over to the latest figures from Tamil Nadu, where 1,86,492 cases, these are confirmed cases, have come to light. The death toll stands at 3,144. In the national capital, 1,26,323 cases have been reported so far, with 3,719 deaths. That makes the national capital the third worst affected. These numbers will be updated in a few hours from now by the Health Ministry, with the figures that have come in really in the last 24 hours. Let's get you the latest from the second worst affected state in the country, that's Tamil Nadu, where the government is under fire for allegedly hiding the COVID death toll in Chennai and also in other parts of the state. Now, the health department has revised the death toll, adding 444 new deaths to the coronavirus toll. This came after a panel recommended the same, saying that several deaths were not accounted for.
Was the Tamil Nadu government underreporting deaths? Or was it just a computation error? India Today's expose forced the Death Reconciliation Committee to sift through data of 102 hospitals in Chennai and cross-checked it with figures obtained from cremation and burial grounds in Chennai. On 21st July, the death toll in Chennai was 1,475, and on 22nd July, it shot up to 1,939. The mortality rate, which was shown at 1%, shot up to 2.7% in Chennai. The government claims that the deaths added to the list were of those patients who had tested positive posthumously.
Burial ground figures which we collect from the corporation and the figures which get notified through DPH in the press releases, it was found that certain deaths, according to doctors, was not COVID, but they were also COVID positive. In certain cases, the person has come to hospital as brought death.
With pressure mounting on the AIADMK government from all quarters, the state government has decided to make permanent the Death Reconciliation Committee.
Every Friday we will all be sitting together, and this reconciliation will happen on a 5 to 6 day basis again and again. So this kind of delay will be completely avoided in the future, so that instant addition or instant deletion can happen on an almost real-time basis.
The DMK has demanded an apology from the Chief Minister for allegedly hiding data on deaths due to COVID-19.
இப்போது 444 மரணங்கள் வெளியில் வந்துள்ளன. இன்னும் இதுபோல் எத்தனை மரணங்கள் மறைக்கப்பட்டதோ என்ற சந்தேகமும் இருக்கிறது. கொரோனா மரணத்தைப் போல கொரோனா கால ஊழல்களும் விரைவில் வெளிச்சத்திற்கு வரும். ஒரு கொள்ளை நோயை வைத்து கொள்ளையடித்துக் கொண்டிருக்கும் கொள்ளை கூட்டத்தை வைரஸை போல விரட்டுவதற்கு சூளுரைப்போம்.
The opposition is now also questioning the figures coming out from elsewhere in the state.
If the discrepancy in the city of Chennai in April and May, when the death counts were small and easily trackable, if the discrepancy was 63% back then itself, what is it now?
Social activists have also slammed the AIADMK government.
This reconciliation committee in Chennai alone has found 444 deaths. Now this has taken the tally in Chennai alone to 1,939 deaths. There was a consistent effort to cover up the COVID deaths.
If this is the situation in the state capital Chennai, what about the other districts in the state? Other numbers coming in from the other districts underreported as well. The video journalist Divyan Rajkumar, this is Shalini Lobo in Chennai with Akshay Nath for India Today.